Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the Crank Gather Season 2 Playoffs Day number 2. I was gonna say your daily dose. I mean, technically, your daily dose of Team League action. I'm Cautious Live VIP with here and joined by these amazing players, by the ByuN chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. It has been an intense week of StarCraft. There's been a lot going on in regards to this Team League. If you have been unavailable, if you have not tuned in before, over the past week of play, we've been covering the Crank Gather Season 2 event. We of course did have initially the preliminary stage. We had the preliminary stage to kind of work through who would be seeded into the playoffs, who would be knocked down to the group stage. We then had the group stage, and this morning we did feature day 1 of the playoffs. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This event is a 6-team invitational. 6 teams were invited to compete in this event. We had a Team Liquid, Team Falcons, ByuN, Shopify, Streamer Zone, and Team Vitality. 6 teams were invited to compete in a Team League format, in a Pro League format, with an added twist with 2v2s. 2v2s were involved as well, so really cool to see. Just kind of like so nostalgic as well, like this old school, even Brood War Pro League format. I don't think 2v2 ever really hit Pro League, to be honest. I could be mistaken, like I didn't watch the first season of Pro League, I didn't watch the Hybrid Pro League. Maybe they had 2v2 in the Hybrid Pro League, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I can't quite recall, I didn't watch that. So maybe in that first season of Pro League, they did actually feature that, but outside of that, like it never really caught on. I did mention this before, but in modern StarCraft, 2v2 has hit mainstream, it has hit the pro scene, and it is enjoyed by many pro players thanks to the TLMC events that have been running since last year, and of course thanks to Euthermal and his 2v2 circuit as well. It's been great to see the resurgence of 2v2 a little bit late in the lifespan of StarCraft, but better late than never nonetheless, and now even being incorporated in team leagues. So really cool to see. And again, shout out to Crank, shout out to Chijik. Crank, of course, he is J1 Choi. Our channel is actually paying tribute to Crank, fun fact. Guest este Crank papi. But again, the event is sponsored and organized by Chijik, or I should say sponsored by Chijik. Because of that, we could not cast it live, or technically we could cast it live, but we'd have to live cast it over on the Chijik platform, not here on Twitch or on YouTube or on all of our other platforms instead. So as a result, there is no English coverage, there's no English live cast, I should say, and instead we are covering it via replays. I believe Wardy has also recently started covering it via replays as well. So again, we have been providing that replay coverage, and we are coming in live with day 2 of the playoffs. We've already had some eliminated teams who has been taken out. Team Vitality, they were early to be eliminated. Streamer Zone were eliminated as well, alongside, oh god, it's slipping my mind. But Team Vitality alongside Streamer Zone, they did get knocked out. All right, they're the only two to get knocked out, and there are 4 teams left, 4 teams remaining: Team Falcons, Shopify, Basilisk, and Team Liquid. And we are here to determine the next team to be knocked out, the next team to be eliminated. It's going to be one of the two, either Falcons or Shopify. Let's go. Let's have a look at the lineups and go through the format of this tournament as well. Now we are in the playoffs. This is the lower bracket. Both Team Falcons and Shopify lost their previous series. Basilisk had a dominant showing over Shopify this morning, and of course we had Team Liquid barely clutch it out over Team Falcons. It was very close, very back and forth. It was a much closer series. I do recommend the VODs of Team Falcons and Team Liquid, but now this is an elimination match. The loser of this series will be knocked out of the tournament. The winner will advance on in the bracket. So here we go. We have our initial lineups. We have Rogue versus Scarlett in a ZVP. Oh is that I don't think that's correct, actually. Hold on. Oh my. Sorry, that's I was like, is she gonna be off raising as a No, that's all good. In a ZVZ, my apologies. I got freaked out for a moment. I was like, yo, is she off racing Protoss again? That's not the case. So it's going to be a ZVZ matchup. We have Solar versus ByuN in a ZVT. We have Rogue and Bunny joining forces once again up against Team Harambo. If you remember, something that was a bit of a shame about this morning's cast about day 1 is that Lambo wasn't there. Lambo was not available to compete, so he wasn't there to join forces with Harstem, and I would say their 2v2 duo did suffer as a result. So again, there was no Team Harambo. Instead, Harstem had to try to carry ByuN and Scarlett in his own way, and they did struggle as a result. But now that we have the ace duo, I should say, in that 2v2, and then we have Bunny and Lambo in that 4th game on Andromeda. If you notice, all the maps are TLMC maps. Team Liquid map contest maps. So Old Republic, 10,000 feet, Gem Garden, Andromeda, alongside Dream and Scars, alongside Mothership, Ruby Rock, and Tourmaline. Okay, so we do have all of our maps. This is a best of 9. Best of 9. And the way this format works is that we have our initial 4 matches. We have our initial lineups revealed. Players that had time, they had 24 hours to prepare for these games, to prepare for their opponents. And then once we finish Bunny versus Lambo, again, even if it's a 4-0, that wouldn't be the end of the series. That's still, you know, it's first to 5 in a best of 9, so first to 5 wins. After that, the team captains will have some time to prepare their follow-up lineups here, to prepare the next set of 4 matches, and then bam, we'll see the next 4 matches, the remainder of the lineup revealed. That'll be after Bunny versus Lambo. So neither team are aware of who's playing against who and what the matchups are going to be until after Bunny versus Lambo takes place. So we'll get to that second half of the series. We'll get there. For now, though, we're going to be jumping into Rogue versus Scarlett. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. Let's go. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Canadian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. Here we go, and it's great to see the return of Scarlett. Again, Scarlett has been on a very long hiatus, did take a very long break, not really competing in anything, but recently did return to competitive play. When I say recently, I mean this week. This week did return, and there's reason for that. If you recall, Scarlett is invited to the big the Chinese event, the Chinese celebration that's going to be taking place at the end of November. Again, there is a celebration going on because the Chinese server is returning to live service. So there's going to be some show matches. Oliveira is going to be involved, Scarlett's going to be involved, alongside many other players. So really cool to see that there's going to be that big show match taking place at the end of November. Likewise, we also have Stellarfest, which is next week. Stellarfest is also next week. That's also an event happening in Canada, and Scarlett is going to be taking part in that event as well. So with all these offline events like in lieu or on the horizon here, Scarlett is kind of getting back into the swing of things, getting back in shape and back in form, and Scarlett looked very impressive this morning against Trigger. Day 1 of the playoffs against Trigger, she did look very impressive. Her ZVT was looking a little bit more rough around the edges, but how is her ZVZ looking as we get into the Old Republic? Now, this is a very large map, long rush distance by ground. Likewise, you have relatively defendable 3 bases. The 4th base is more exposed, but in ZVZ that matters a little bit less. So we are prone to longer games on this map because it's so big, it's so large. Likewise, Mutaplay is also going to be quite accessible, especially with the change to the Spire. Right now that we have the change to the Spire, now that Spires are going to be finishing a little bit faster, Mutaplay is more accessible, is more viable, and is more common in ZVZ. More so than in the previous patch. Here we go. Knights of the Old Republic vibes. Kind of, visually, a little bit. Yo, when is KOTOR going to be remastered? How is that not a thing? In the era of all these remasters, Gib KOTOR. Yeah, one day, papi, one day. Finale. Now we do have Scarlett taking her 3rd base. Likewise, so is Rogue. Everything's normal. Everything's standard. We're pulling out of gas, so only 2 and 2 in gas. Getting into Ling Bane behind this. We'll see if anyone skips their Bane Nest. We'll see if anyone goes and rushes into earlier Roaches or an earlier Evo Chamber. Speaking of, there's a Bane Nest for Scarlett. We should soon be seeing one for Rogue as well. And there it is. Rogue also throws one down. So far, mirrored builds. We have mirrored builds. Rogue does make a surge, a swell of Lings behind this. We have 10 Lings on the way, and we'll see what Rogue can get done. The recent patch probably helped her return. Maybe. I don't think it's necessarily related. The patch has been around for a while. It's just this week has marked her return. But regardless, great to see her return nonetheless. So we do have... that's what Link floating. Okay. We have our Link flood across the map. Scarlett does commit. Sorry, Rogue does commit. And we'll see if Scarlett can hold on. We have the first mailing on the way. We have a second mailing. We're going to be morphing in as well. It's going to be a tough hold here as Rogue is going straight for the third. Okay, the third base taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of hits. Banelings are on the way. The hatchery taking so much damage, so it looks like it is going to go down. I say that. Here come the Banelings. Up. Yeah, Banelings are on the way for both players. Lings are surrounded. Yeah, Rogue, he does avoid those Banelings. Does make his way to the mineral line. No major connections yet. Up. Oof. Does spin 2 Banelings, and we'll get into the main base, but shouldn't do any critical damage. It looks like Scarlett has held. Yeah, Scarlett has held on. Banelings are going to be denied. And this is a big investment here from Rogue. Rogue is down in workers. Rogue, he's all in. He's still committing. Yeah, still rushing across the map. Wants to at least kill the expansion. At least. Not the best Banelings connection. Plus transfuse. The hatchery will still go down. And we'll see if Rogue starts droning. Ooh, a bit of a wasted Baneling. Yeah, 1 Baneling left here for Rogue. Ooh, Baneling does get sniped. Rogue is busting in. Uh-oh. Going for the queens. Yeah, Rogue is going for the queens. Lings do go down. Queens are surrounded. Brutal damage here. Initially, the defense was solid for Scarlett. It was solid, but now things are getting a little bit out of hand. Yeah, they're getting out of hand. A couple of Banelings are going to be peeled up. 2 Banelings on the way in the main. Queen is distracted. Rogue still applying pressure here at the natural. Up! Oh my god. Yeah, Baneling goes off. The other Banelings have finished, and Scarlett, I don't know if she noticed. Oh no! They're waddling in. Okay, does pull away. Does pull away in time. We have more Lings rallying. Rogue is still all in. Banelings, they only get, what, 1? Oof. Yeah, a couple of drones. Only a couple of workers working on is still neck and neck. Rogue does have more momentum, does have extra lava thanks to the third. Bear that in mind. Oh, takes on 2 Banelings. Better trade for Rogue. Oh no! Does have the better trade initially. Takes out another queen. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Baneling gets baited. A little bit premature there from Rogue. A little bit premature. Baneling goes off. Once again, Scarlett is going to be holding on. And Rogue has been squeezing out drones. Rogue has been droning up somewhat. Yeah, now backing off. Now saturating. And the game will continue. Now, as it settles, Rogue does have a slight economic advantage. Rogue is working on the Roach Warren, and Rogue is taking extra gases as well, so it's switching into Roach production. Scarlett is doing something similar, but again, Scarlett is stuck on 2 bases. So the pressure is on Scarlett. We'll see what she can get done. Does move out. Rogue is somewhat in position. Ooh. Another Banelings connection, but alas, Rogue will defend. Does defend, does hold on. And the question becomes, is Rogue just going to turtle up, defend with Roaches and Drone, or is he going to go for a 2-base push with Roach Link game? Now, do you see what I see? No lair. There's no lair, there's no Eva chamber, there's no upgrades. It looks like Rogue is just continuing to apply pressure. It's just continuing to be just hyper aggressive. Rogue is pushing once again. He's not taking up. Meanwhile, Scarlett is taking extra gases. Oh, Scarlett +1 is on the way. Extra gases are on the way. Scarlett is macroing. Rogue is not. And we're hoping that Scarlett doesn't drone. Right? If we're hoping that Scarlett doesn't make a wave of workers here. As Rogue is moving out. Baneling gets baited. Scarlett is making a couple of workers, but nothing major. Here comes Rogue. Scarlett going for a run by. There are how many Banelings to defend? 3. Okay, there's 3 Banelings. Oh, ooh, as Banelings are trading against each other. Once again, surrounding the third base. And the expansion is going to get picked up. Oh, going for the Roaches. Yeah, it does come in for the surround. Banelings crash into mainly the Queen. Not the best connections here from Rogue. A little bit messy. Scarlett's holding. Scarlett does hold on, but the base goes down for a second time. Barely. It's going to be an expensive trade, though. Rogue will lose all these roaches. Roaches are going down. +1 range will kick in. And was this too expensive? Were these too many losses here for Rogue? As Scarlett is going for the counterattack. Back at home, Rogue is trying to mass an army. Getting ready for his own run by. Rogue is pushing. Sorry, Scarlett's pushing. Rogue coming in for the run by. Does get a queen. We'll get some worker kills. Scarlett turns back around. As drones will be falling. Scarlett does have a much larger roach army, though. Is that going to be enough? Queens are in position. Lair did just finish for Rogue. That's going to be 3 drone kills. Nothing major. 3 drones. It's still very tense. Scarlett can no force her way up into this concave. Upgrades are on the way. Nice run by. 4 drones, not bad. Gets 4 drone kills. Scarlett's making a massive wave of drones. Scarlett is getting up to 3 base saturation. Rogue is not. There's +1 range. Overseer might have got a glimpse of the move out. As Rogue is supply blocked. 5 overlords being thrown now. We have the Spire on the way for Scarlett, we mentioned before, but Spire play has been a lot more trendy as of late. Has been a lot more enticing and viable. The Rogue does have the larger Roach army. And here comes Rogue. We're going to tank some of those shots. Does raise the army. And Rogue is pushing in. Yeah, Rogue is going for the kill. Wants to end the game here and now. Again, Rogue has not been droning. Breaks his way through the roaches. And Rogue, it looks like, has done it. Has broken the 3rd base. Again, Scarlett went up to full 3 base saturation. Was droning. Was being greedy. Taking up as well into the Spire. And Rogue does have enough. And Rogue breaks through. Takes down the Roach Ravager, catching out some of the queens, piles on the eggs as well. With reinforcements, maybe Scarlett can barely hold on, but Rogue is rallying. Oof. Yeah, Rogue is still rallying across the map. Getting onto the roaches, making sure that Scarlett doesn't amass an army. And again, it was a very aggressive game out of Rogue. It was very aggressive, not a lot of room to breathe, and GG, Rogue will take a lead in the series for Team Falcons. GG. Whew. But again, a very intense back and forth. Again, it did come down to Scarlett just being a little bit too greedy and assuming that the game was going to continue. Scarlett went up to full 3-base saturation, droned up heavily, made a wave of 11 workers, and went for a Spire as well, and was going for +1 carapace, was investing a lot into a further and longer game, when Rogue was just going for an all-in. Rogue was just cutting workers once again, going for another massive push, and did have a 10 roach lead. Was up in roaches, broke through, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here, Rogue. He will take a lead in the series. And now we're getting ready for our next matchup here. We'll see if Shopify can recover. As up next, we're going to be getting into our next best of 1. It is going to be a best of 1 between Solar and ByuN. Oh boy. As ByuN is stepping in for Shopify, and we'll see if ByuN can help recover. As we're loading into 10,000 feet, a very small map. Short rushes and spike round. Aggression is favored here on 10,000 feet. Let's go. Let us go. This morning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. We're getting into our next matchup here, into our TVZ. ByuN is going for the low ground 2-Rax Reaper. Does make plenty of sense. Is an opener that ByuN is very fond of, and we'll see how Solar can react and how Solar does respond. As we load into 10,000 feet, again, a much smaller map of the map pool. Aggression is heavily favored here on this map. And we'll see what ByuN can achieve. Solar does go hatch first. Are on the way. Is going to be a hatch gas pool out of Solar. Going for a relatively standard opener. Likewise, the third base options here are quite limited because of the mineral wall here on the left hand side, so it'll be a little bit easier for ByuN to get eyes and to delay the third base of Solar. True. So we'll see if Solar can keep up. We'll see how he responds. Likewise, Solar does actually prioritize scouting for proxies. Interesting. Sends out the first and second Overlord to check for proxies before moving out across the map, so it's going to be a later realization that it is 2-Rax Reaper. We'll see if Solar pulls out. We'll see if he just assumes what ByuN is going for. ByuN rallies. Yep, Solar he stayed in gas. Link speed is prioritized. So I was like, wow, you're so predictable. Reaper breaks in. Oh, gets one link. Nice start here by ByuN. But Solar does get his third. They're basically getting up and running. This is actually quite greedy here from Solar, but ByuN's already transitioning. ByuN does not make extra Reapers, only 3. Doesn't get a 4th or 5th. So this third base should get up and running. It's looking very similar here to the Raynor series, if you recall, from this morning. Where ByuN, he saw the third base. The smurge, pappy. Solar, he was able to get up and running. Now, the reason why they're reacting in such a way, usually as... Jeez. I'd appreciate some translations in the chat. But usually, when you're defending against 2-Rax Reaper, you can't really expand, because if your opponent makes an extra pair of Reapers, then it's going to be cancelled. It's going to be denied, and you'll be losing your expansion. But ByuN, he was late to check, late to scout, and he was also fast to switch out into his add-ons, which means the star base gets up and running. Right, it gets up and running, and this initial opener doesn't really achieve much. He invested into all these Reapers and didn't really get much damage done. I'll whip out the Google Translate. Solar, he asked him, hey, how's the defense? I think ByuN made a pun, which is what Solar laughed at. They were commenting on the Reaper defense. Behind this, we do have the follow-up here of the 2-on-1. So 360 2-on-1, Stim is on the way, and ByuN will soon be moving out. Opening up Raven? Oh, hello. That's not usually what we see here. Okay. So Raven follow-up here by ByuN, not going for the earlier medevac, or not going for said Banshee or anything like that. Or even Viking or Liberator. Interesting. Yo, ByuN he's been reading Reddit. Raven opener, okay. Now he doesn't have to scan. True. Raven moves out. Solo back at home has been defending nicely here, getting into Link Bane. It was an Eva Chamber first, followed by the Baneling Nest. This means +1 carapace will be done in time. Or it should kick in a little bit faster. As ByuN does go for the forward base. He is pushing. ByuN moves in. Okay, he's going for the queens. Let's get one. Yeah, late transfuse, bit of miscontrol there by Solar. We'll lose one, we'll lose 2 queens. So nice pick here by ByuN. At the same time, Raven harassing to the middle line. 4 drones going to be going down, and ByuN, he does find some damage here. So pressing it. Takes down 2 queens. That takes down 6 drones as more drones are falling. Yeah, the Raven harass catching Solar off guard. And this is worth it. This is worth it. So far, ByuN takes the lead. Deals some nice damage. And we'll see where he takes us from here. As he's building up to 5 Raxes. We expect the aggression to continue. As we kind of mentioned before, this is a very small map. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored. And I would not be surprised if ByuN turns this into a 3-base all-in, 8 Rax. And we'll see if Solar can recover. Getting to Baneling speed. Early Eva Chamber out of Solar. Interesting. We'll see if this is for safety infestors. Solar has to get the hell out of here. As ByuN is still rallying forward. Solar going for a run by. Let's go. Moves that across the map. Raven this time doesn't get much done. But creep is receding. We do have gases on the way and a second factory, so ByuN, he's not going for a 3-base all-in. He's taking up and looking to expand. Yep, there it is, 4th CC. So ByuN is playing out a standard game. Still applying a lot of pressure there. The run by didn't quite amount to anything here. Solo pulling back. There's another queen. Solar's still just trying to mass his army. This position is brutal, at least until the tumors get knocked down. Fun fact, when we were judging this map, this is something that we did bring up, that, that these tumors would have to be knocked down. Otherwise, this position would just be brutal to deal with. Solar getting ready for this round. Coming in from behind. Oh! Bit of miscontrol there, bit of misparty, but it does get on top of the tanks. Solar, he will clean this up. Oh, but he's out of position. Yeah, he will lose the drones. He'll lose the expansion itself. Hatchery falls. Oh, the Raven. The Raven harass continues. Let's go. Oh, get out. Raven gets sniped, but honestly, pretty worthwhile here. Like, a lot of damage was done. Solar, who was distracted at a couple of key moments as well. Was not bad. Oh. ByuN does somewhat pick up. I didn't have room. I didn't have enough medics for everything. Did bleed out some units. Now, what I will say is that ByuN has been doing some nice damage here, but Sola's maxed out, and this entire time, if you remember, Sola, he was going for the early pit into the Hive. The Hive is done. Hive upgrades are on the way. Ultra Production's on the production is always on the way as well. And that's going to be a big power spike here for Solar, getting into those Ultras. ByuN, ideally, with this aggressive style, he would have broken one of these bases. He has yet to do so. Took down top right, but that didn't really matter as much. So ByuN, he's just not achieving enough damage. Not yet. Oh. Solar is bleeding out a lot of lings. Solar now collapsing in. Catching one of the tanks on siege. Solar, he will clean up at the same time. Double drop on the right hand side as Solar's in position. He does defend. And now it's time to counterattack. Here come the Ultras. Up. The tanks, they barely do siege up. They get one of the Ultras. Not just the one. Your second Ultra barely goes down. The Planetary Force, 21 SEV kills. And again, ByuN, he just did not do enough damage. Yes, it was in the face of Solar, but as you mentioned, didn't kill workers, didn't kill bases, did not slow Solar down. Not enough. And Solar, he's running away with this. Nice drop on the top right. Very necessary damage here. Does cause a massive distraction. Solar, again, he's not in position. He overreacted to the drop. Yeah. Okay. ByuN takes out a base. Oh. Solar, he attempts to drop into the bases. Forcing with a friendly fire. But Solar, he has to remax here. Where are the injections? Yeah, we're missing some injects here and there. We're missing some larva. Solar, he has 1,500 minerals, but he can't spend his money. The injections. Oh no. How many queens do we have? 6. There are enough queens. But Solar's macro has been slipping. It's making this closer than it should have been. ByuN drops into the main base. Has repositioned, took down one of the expansions earlier, of course. ByuN is fighting well. As ByuN, he is spreading himself a little bit thin here. Drop in the main, drop here at the forward base. Tanks are spread out. I'm ready to calm down. Soul sitting in front of the drop. But at least all this aggression means that ByuN re-expands, right? He retakes his expansion, getting it back up, rebuilding. ByuN is still in this. Taking a better fight. Solar overextending. We get some decent types on the Ultras, but there's so much more Ling Bane. Catching out ByuN, drop into the main base. SCVs are finally going down. Oh no, the tanks are on their own. Takes down all 3 tanks, and ByuN commits. He just keeps on pushing. Production is delayed, he gets surrounded, and ByuN should lose this army. Thankfully for ByuN, there's no anti-air, so the medevacs, they do keep getting away. They do keep pulling out, but the Spire's in production, and we should soon be seeing Corruptors. So like, he's almost there. As Lings, they do get into the mineral line, and Baileys are rolling in as well. 23 SCV kills. Where's Solar? He's ready for the drop. Oof. Catching out some of the medevacs. Does get caught out. Oh, Queens have a rough rotation here. It looks like Solar he was probably injecting, like mass injecting, cycling through his buildings. But the Queens, they get caught off of creep. We're getting messy. Getting very messy here. So losing bases, losing workers. Both armies are maxing out. ByuN is super maxed. So ByuN is down in workers, but he has a massive army to compensate. Solar's got his corruptors. He has his anti-air. He can finally deal with the drops. Get there. Pushing into these entrenched positions is going to be difficult without Vipers. Whether it's Vipers, whether it's Microbial Shroud, one of these two is what we need. So we're going to try to brute force instead. Once again, dropping into the main base. In the command center. Getting a couple of tanks. Oh, good. Still a little bit messy here. Bleeding out a lot of ultras, expensive losses for Solar. But does he get the expansion? And Solar's win condition is just make sure that ByuN never expands. Like ByuN, he's on what, 1.5 base economy. His naturals mined out, his main base is mined out. ByuN doesn't have much to keep him going. ByuN needs a base. So it does cause a distraction. Moving in on the left. So far, there is no backup expansion yet. So it gets spotted. Pulls away. Against Solar, he's looking a little more solid here now that he has his anti-air, a couple of infestors. He's just waiting for ByuN to push in. Rotating over. Gets the tank. ByuN pushing into the siege line. Sorry, Solar even. Yeah, not ideal, beating out a lot of units. Solar gonna calm down. Calm down, back. Alright, Spawn Builder, yeah, very nice. Spawn will chain Spawn as well on top of the Ghosts. The Ghosts are getting caught out. And massive losses here for ByuN. That's what 6 goes going down. Most of the Novax as well. And finally, Solar takes a fight. Catching out 7 Ghosts. 7 Ghosts are tanks. We do see ByuN attempted to expand. Will be able to maintain this position. Solar has to pull away. Preserves his Corruptors. Nice run by towards the left. Going for the academy. Academy goes down. ByuN still barely holding on. Oh, and Solar, he's working towards Broodlords. And Broodlords are on the way. ByuN does finish his planetary, though. With his space, he can remax. But this entire time, he's just been stuck at home. He's been stuck at home. It's been a very intense, very aggressive game so far, and we've had a back and forth. But once Solo got his Corruptors, the aggression ended. The job stopped. Solo has been shutting ByuN down. Even here, bleeding out, what, 3-4 Marauders. Trading minerals for gas. Broodlords are finally on the way. And how many ghosts are there? 3. Oh god. There's 3 ghosts, 0 Vikings. ByuN, he is not ready for Broodlords. He's not ready, man. There's the scan. He sees. Oh, right. There's no academy. No shot. That's why there are no more ghosts. The academy's still being rebuilt. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. There you go. The academy is done. We have 1 ghost in production. Remember, there are 3 ghosts of the main army. This planetary will go down. Oh, we're throwing away the ultras. Rebels are moving in. And again, there's no answer. Oh, respect the ghosts. Landing a couple of snipes. Drop is dealt with. Broodlord still pushing forward. And ByuN is broke. He's been broke for quite some time. It's just pushing into, pushing up these ramps and pushing into the main army is quite difficult here, even if you're up in supply. So Solar, he hasn't been able to go for the kill. But now he does catch the army on siege. That's a lot of tanks. Yeah, brutal fight here. Solar, he will chase down ByuN. ByuN barely gets up the ramp. And GG gets called. Solar, he will extend the lead 2-0 for Team Falcons. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth. Again, we did have ByuN and Solar. I mean, ByuN, he was looking very in form as he was able to recover from the earlier damage, was popping off, killing bases, killing mineral lines, the Raven harass, of course, but more importantly, the drop play. And it was looking very shaky there for Solar, especially when we saw he was losing queens and he was having a hard time keeping up with his macro because there was so much going on. But eventually, Solar, he was able to stabilize. Eventually, he was able to get his drop off into the main base, able to distract ByuN, able to snipe some key buildings, some key bases on the fringe, towards the fringe sides of the map, and eventually work towards the spire and work towards his corruptors. Before all of that, though, he was able to make it until Hive Tech, right? He survived until the infestation was done, the Hive was done, and the ultras did pop out. Once that occurred, Solar, he was able to slow down ByuN and eventually stabilize, and then just snowball from there. GG, well played. So Solar, he was able to survive the aggression of ByuN, and now we're getting into our next game. We're getting into our 2v2. Oh boy, the pressure is on Shopify, but we do have one of the best 2v2 teams in the league stepping up to the plate. It is going to be both Bunny and Rogue going up against Harstem and Lambo. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful. We have Team Harambo going up against trying to come up with a name for Bunny and Rogue. Okay, let's see if we go. Up against Team Falcons. The spawning is up left-hand corner of Gem Garden. We do have the blue team. We have the teal Zerg player in Rogue. We have the blue Terran in Bunny. We have Team Falcons. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the red Zerglair and Lambo. We have the orange Protoss in Harstem. We have Shopify. Shopify Rebellion. Here we go. The pressure is on as Team Falcons are up 2-0, and now is the time to begin the comeback. As we mentioned in the past, both Harstem and Lambo, they are very experienced in 2v2. I would say they are they are one of the best teams in 2v2 in this league, specifically like amongst all these teams, amongst all these duos. I would say that Cyril and Trigger are definitely up there as well. I think they might be the best, but Lambo and Harstem are not too far behind them either in regards or in terms of their 2v2 prowess. So this is kind of the moment for Shopify to recover, to bounce back, and to start to take a lead, to get a point on the board. It's up to Team Haramba. Let's go. As we have a gasless opener out of Lambo. Okay, interesting. Does open up gasless. Meanwhile, we see Harstem opening up 2 gates. So a more aggressive start out of Harstem and a greedier start out of Lambo. Speaking of greed, geez, we're going back to it. We did criticize Rogue for this in the previous series. Now, what is Rogue going for? He's going hatch, gas, pool. Hyper greed out of Rogue. What this means is that Bunny's gonna have to defend by himself. Bunny's gonna have to go for that solo defense early on, as the spawning pool for Rogue is heavily delayed. Now, if you remember, this did work against Team Liquid. This did work against Clem. It was Clem alongside Mana, but in the rematch, Clem and Mana, they just went for an all-in. They just went for an all-in, and they were able to punish Rogue for going for this build, and we're seeing it again out of Rogue. At this point, I feel like you've shown your hand. I feel like this is too obvious. We've seen it so often. Almost every game out of Rogue in 2v2 has been going hyper greedy, and we have that aggressive response out of Harstem, and we'll see if they can punish. We'll see if they can scout what's going on and punish. Again, I would like to believe that Harstem and Lambo were watching the previous games. I would like to believe that they know what Rogue is up to, just because, I mean, we can call it as well. Like, in every game, Rogue in 2v2, Rogue has gone for these hyper greedy builds. We gotta punish. eBay block on Harstem. Twilight Council's on the way. Now, there is a build that we could be going for here that Lambo and Harstem have already done once, and Scarlett and Harstem did attempt as well in their previous series. If you remember, it was a 2-base, 10-gate all-in. How do you afford that? Well, Lambo and Scarlett, they just fed. Right, they just fed all of their money to Harstem, and Harstem just went for a 2-base all-in. This is possible in this tournament and not during the 2v2 league, because in the 2v2 league there is a mod that they play with, which does limit the amount of how early you can transfer resources. If you remember, in New Thermal's 2v2 circuits, they extended the time that doesn't allow you to trade resources. In vanilla 2v2, you can trade it much earlier, and that's what we're going for. It looks to be the case. Where Lambo, he's taking 2 gases at the natural, 2 gases in the main. Lambo, he has no link speed. You can see here, Lambo, he has no link speed, he has no lair, he has 0 units except for queens. Lambo, he's basically just feeding Harstem. He's just giving Harstem all the money, and you can see here, all in. It's going to be a 10-gate, technically 1-base all in by Harstem, but he's powered by Lambo. Like, Lambo is just a bank, basically. He's just a bank. He's giving everything to Harstem, and you can see here, yeah, we have 8 gates on the way, 2 gates already done, 10-gate all in. We've seen this before by Harstem, and this does hit very hard. Going up to 11 gateways. So the 11-gate setup. Meanwhile, we do see that Rogue and Bunny are pushing early. The gateways are still on the way, and Lambo has nothing. Oh god. Lambo has nothing. It's just Harstem. It's the 1v2. Yeah, Harstem's on his own. By design, of course. Banelings, they get into the mineral line, but they're going for the stalkers. And Harstem, the gateways are still on the way. This all-in hits hard, but it's still getting there. Yeah, and Rogue, sorry, I should say that Lambo and Harstem are not the only ones that have been looking up their opponents. As Bane, they're going for the middle line, they're going for Harstem. Banelings, they peel up into both bases. Queen gets surrounded. Spinecrawler is still on the way. Oof. Yeah, Spinecrawler takes a lot of hits here, and with that, Team Falcons, they are doing it. The gateways are coming online. We have a lot of warpins available. Those gateways get depowered. Oh my god, the Atosis pylon. Gateways get depowered. Stalkers are falling. This natural base is forfeits. We do see Lambo, he does hold on to his main. Yeah, Lambo's holding on, but Harstem on his own, he will lose everything. And again, this is a powerful build from Harstem and Lambo, but GG gets called, and Team Falcons, ByuN and Rogue, they shut down the cheeky build of Lambo and Harstem, and they do extend their lead 3-0. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, this was the third time that we've seen Lambo and Harstem go for this build, go for this essentially like this all-in, where Lambo, all he does is just feed Harstem. He just feeds Harstem, gives him all the money, and Harstem turns his build into a massive Blinkstalker all-in with 10 plus gateways. But as you saw, the game was still in production. They were still in production. They were still not yet done. There was a window in time where they were very vulnerable, and I assumed that Rogue and ByuN would be greedy. They would be greedy themselves and be passive in the early game. But no, they ramped it up. They went for their own Bane bust. They went for their own Cyclone push as well. They broke Harambo before they could really get going. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive play here by Team Falcons. Both ByuN and Rogue, they're getting better at 2v2. Like, you can see it. Like, you can see their progression over the course of this tournament. They're getting better and better at 2v2. And the pressure is heavily on Shopify. Oh boy. Things are looking a little bit dire here for the Shopify boys, and we'll see if they can recover. The pressure is on. Up next, we are loading into our next matchup. It's going to be a best of one between ByuN and Lambo. Oh boy, it's going to be a tough one here. We'll see how Lambo will approach this. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Andromeda, we have the German Zerg player. We have the German Zerg, we have the red Zerg representing Shopify, as they are heavily behind in this series. They've got to bounce back here and now to start that comeback. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Falcons. It is ByuN. We go. As Lambo is going to take his expansion, likewise ByuN setting up back at home. Oh, here we go. And welcome one to Andromeda. Andromeda is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. 3 base all-ins are very favored, and 3 base aggression is very favored here on this map. The rush distance from third base to third base is very direct and very short, so we have seen a lot of successful aggression on Andromeda. We'll see who will be the aggressor though this time. Lambo, we could see Roach play. Like, I would not be opposed to seeing a Roach heavy play and Roach heavy styles in this matchup on this map. Otherwise, we could see ByuN double down on 3 bases as well. We'll see. Keep an eye on our players. So far, CC first. Okay, ByuN. We are going to be a little bit greedy here. ByuN going for the CC on the low ground before the rack. So greedy play here by ByuN, and he should not be punished by Lambo. As Lambo did go for a standard opener, did pull out, or I should say should be pulling out. Overlord moves out across him up to scout. Yeah, there we go. Does pull out, so he's not going to be rushing into any kind of earlier attack. Going for a standard opener. And ByuN will get away with a slightly more economic build than usual. And again, because it will CC first, that's why we're going for the Marine follow-up. No Reaper. ByuN is cutting corners. Does move out, does scout. And we are going for the Roach one. Let's go. So I mentioned before that I was looking forward to seeing Roach play on Andromeda. We are going for the Roaches. Lambo, he moves out. He's aware that there was no Reaper Scout. He sees the CC's already done. The orbital's already complete as well. So Lambo, he sees how greedy ByuN has been. Now, what is scary and what is going to be in favor of Lambo here is a lack of scouting. ByuN, no Reaper Scouts, no follow-up either. It's a late factory. Remember that. Late factory, later Hellion production, later scouting, later realization of what Lambo is up to. Roach one's almost done. So Lambo, he should be pushing with his early roaches. And Bunny has no idea. Here we go, 8 roaches on the way. Queens are going to be waddling across the map as well. Lambo, he's committing. And Bunny, he won't realize until the Hellions pop out. It's going to be so late, so delayed. At this point, Bunny's going to have to evacuate. He cannot defend the natural. He cannot hold on to the natural. I didn't even know if he can defend the main. Stim is on the way. Rushing into Stim, and no Banshee either. And I think Lambo's about to begin that comeback. Yeah, he's about to begin. Lambo's pushing, and now Bunny knows. And again, he has to evacuate. He cannot defend the low ground. He has to pull away. Bunkers being thrown down. Marauder production as well. But again, without Banshees, without Cyclone, without the early defensive setup here, it's going to be difficult as Hellion's already falling. They're losing 1 Hellion so far. Boys are being pulled. The bunker is not yet done. No. Yeah, the bunker, it's going to go down as well. Does not finish. Queens, they walk back. Queens are waddle back. It looks like Lambo's going to drone from here. And he's content with this damage. It doesn't help that Lambo is supply blocked. Lambo is heavily supply blocked. So Overlord, sorry, we have Link Speed on the way. And he's droning. So it's possible that maybe Lambo did want to commit to an all-in, but the supply block didn't really help. Yes, Bunny does break out. Eventually, Jesus. Yeah, still some brutal trades. Nice hit on the Viking. Oh, Bunny, he wants those roaches. He wants them. Up. Gets one. Jesus. He wants uno más. Gets it. Oh my god, the power of the 1 Marauder. Jesus. Just sniping 4 roaches. 4 roaches good. And Marauders are pretty good. Behind this Lambo, he drones up to 43. Lambo's making another wave of roaches. And Bunny's not ready for this. Bunny, he's got 4 more Raxes on the way. Bunny, he needs time for his production. And again, Lambo's not droning. Yeah, Lambo's not droning up. He's getting ready for a Roach Ravager Ling all in. He's moving out across the map, and Bunny, once again, he has no idea what's coming his way. Bunny's playing blind. He doesn't see the bush. And again, there's no bunkers. There is some SimCity to work with here. There's a bunker on the high ground. And hopefully he's able to siege up safely. The tank is exposed. Army gets spotted. Boys are being pulled. Depot is looking to go down. We try to mass repair. Oh. And the boys are being pulled. Barely holding on. The tank will go down with 1 more bile. Tank falls. Remember, there's no bunker. And Bunny should be broken. Yeah, here he should be broken. He will lose everything. 20 SEV kills. And Lambo snowballs out of control. He's done enough damage already. Cripples the economy. And again, in the end, Bunny's greed was punished. Like we mentioned, the lack of scouting here because of the opener of choice. Bunny's just taking so much damage throughout the course of this entire game. And Lambo is backing off. Double levers. Lambo can drone. He can expand. Yeah, he's just going to play this out. So we're going to back off at macro. Oh boy. And again, Lambo's very comfortable here. Bunny at this point, his one chance is to go for an all-in. The one chance that Bunny has is Lambo being greedy, right? Like if Lambo double expands, drones up, invests into these upgrades, and if Lambo gets caught mid-transition, mid all these upgrades finishing, then Bunny can pull this off. Like Bunny does have a comparable army, true. And this is it. It's all or nothing for Bunny. There's no macroing from here. He's not making SCVs. He shouldn't be. Oh no, Ling Runway does catch reinforcements. That's a lot of Marines going down. Yeah, caught a move command. And we're going for the base trade. We commit. Back at home, there's not that many roaches left over. No banings either, okay. ByuN, they shut down one of the tanks. One tank goes down, but Bunny gets in. Yeah, takes down the Queens, takes down the Ravagers. Bunny, he can end the game with this army. He's almost there. Boys are being pulled. Does kite back well. Okay, kites back. Nice target firing on the roaches. Roaches, no shot. Bunny's done it. Bunny, he's done it. Takes care of all the roaches. We spoke about it, but again, all these upgrades, they don't matter. The upgrades don't matter. Waste of money here. Likewise at the base, the droning. Lambo, he was a little bit too greedy here. He's trying to buy time for more roaches. Comes in from behind. Gets a tank. Yeah, tank barely. Oh my god, barely goes down. Lambo, he's holding on. One Marauder left. We're rallying. Buddy, he almost did. He was so close. Buddy, he's so close to killing Lambo. Gasito, because if he had like 3 more Marauders. But it's just Mass Marine. He's muling his heart out, transferring over. And thankfully, now that Lambo is aware of how much danger he's in, he's not droning. Like he's he's fixated on army production. There's no Marauders left here. Although the Biles. Ooh, Falcon X. Yeah, Bunny was distracted. Bunny tries to get on top of those roaches. Does neither Ravager at least. He's rallying pure Marines. He has no money for Marauders. Oh, the tank overextends. Yeah, the tank does go down. Brutal overextension. Bunny sims in. Oh, there's 7 more roaches in production. 9 more roaches even. They're still on the way. Bunny going for the chase. He wants the Ravage. Ooh, ByuN takes down the medevac. And medevac goes down. Boys are being pulled. Takes down all the boys. They're still rallying in. Tank has arrived. No shot. It's still so close. But now there are no Ravagers. There's no easy way to deal with the tanks. Without Ravagers and tanks, they can pop up. And they are. Yeah, the tanks are popping up. He has to make sure he avoids friendly fire. Barely, not enough Marines. But he does save the tanks just barely. Saves the tanks. Bunny, he's crazy. No shot. Bunny was dead in this game, and he's almost killing Lambo. Okay, rotating over. Lambo down to 34 workers. Lambo still doesn't have any Ravagers. Again, without Ravagers, it is a little bit concerning trying to deal with these tanks. Lings, they get caught out. Nice catch there from Bunny. So he's pushing forward. His tanks are a little bit far behind. So he doesn't have the best support. Yeah, Lings is trying to catch reinforcements. Tank boys going off. Oh, and Lambo is pushing within tank range. Yeah, better fight for Bunny. He does outtrade. Oh, brutal friendly fire. The last he does outtrade, cleans up all the roaches. GG gets called. No shot. As Bunny, he does take it, does extend the lead even further here for Team Falcons. GG. That is crazy. GG, well played. Bunny was dead, by the way. Bunny, he was dead. He was down to 18 SCVs. He was on 18 SCVs for like 5 minutes. Like for 5 solid minutes there, he was down less than half the worker count of Lambo. But as you mentioned, we did as you know, we did that the caster thing. We were like, well, technically, like Bunny can still win this game if Lambo, if he expands, if he drones, if he invests into upgrades, if he starts spending money in things other than his army. And that happened. We would just say that just to say something, but it did happen. In the end, Lambo, he was too greedy. He was too greedy. He expanded. He droned up heavily. He invested into his Baneling Nest, into double melee upgrades as well, into melee, into carapace, into all these resources, all this investment into things that didn't help in the defense, which meant that the all-in from Bunny actually was terrifying and did kill Lambo. Did kill him in the end. Again, Lambo, he was just a little bit too greedy in the aftermath, a little bit too complacent after he had taken a massive lead, and he got caught with his pants down. GG. GG, well played. Whew, Bunny does take it. Ay, ay, ay. Format is super cool, but I wish they went for shorter matches and longer sets. Like instead of best of 1 per set, they went best of 3. I mean, that's the WTL format a little bit, where WTL is best of 2s, right? Like WTL is best of 2. It's like the greater, like best of 5 is constructed by best of 2s instead of best of 1s. So WTL have you for that. But this is more old school. This is more old school pro league formats, and it does allow for more upsets as well. It means that if you can come in with one sniper build, you can win it for yourself. Like that's the better thing about this compared to best of 3s, right? Where you can have an upset. You can have, like we had in the past, like Kelazur come out and beat Maru and win one game, and he wins it, right? He beats Maru. Like there's suddenly so much more kind of on the line in a best of 1, and so much more variance is available and potential for more upsets as well. So it is a different format, different vibe, I should say, different kind of show. Whew. But with that, we have a massive lead for Team Falcons. They're up 4-0. Bam, as we just, there we go. As we update the scores, Team Falcons are up 4-0, but remember, this is a best of 9. What does that mean? One more. Team Falcons, they are 1 game away from winning the entire series and knocking Shopify out of the tournament. And now it's time for the team captains to field their next set of lineups. Okay. So, what do we have next? We have Dream and Scars, we have Gem Garden, we have Mothership, we have Ruby Rock. Dream and Scars is a bit of a larger map. It can be prone to longer games, depending on the matchup though. We'll get into it, depending on the spawn locations. There is some RNG to Dream and Scars because it is a 4-player spawn map with 2 possible spawn locations. We'll get there. Gem Garden is another 2v2. I still do favor Harstem and Lambo, but they did get sniped. They got sniped earlier. I still do favor them against Rogue and Bunny if Shopify can get there, right? Everything hinges on that game on Dream and Scars. It all does hinge on that. And here we go. Here we go. We do have our lineups, and bam. Oh boy. Dream and Scars TVT between Bunny and ByuN. I was about to say that we have seen a lot of TVT on Dream and Scars. There are some really nasty positions that you can set up with your tanks, and we did see that between Cure and ByuN previously as well. So I think Ryung as well. I mean, we saw a lot of TVT on Dream and Scars, so we're seeing another TVT. We have once again Bunny Rogue versus Lambo and Harstem on Gem Garden. No surprises there. We have Rogue versus Lambo on Mothership, and we have Solar versus Scarlett on Ruby Rock. Oh boy. Okay. Interesting. Looks like Harstem isn't feeling too confident in certain matchups because Harstem is not playing in any of the 1v1s, only in the 2v2s. So Harstem is kind of relegating himself to that position here. But again, it all comes down to the TVT right now on Dream and Scars. Like 1 game at a time, every game matters that much more for Shopify. 1 loss and they are out of the tournament. Their tournament life is on the line. Tournament life is going to be on the line here. Do you need to remember to set up myself? Bunny versus ByuN. For those that are curious, basically the way that the best of 9 works here is that we play our first 4 games, which we just did, and then we get a roster reset because as you know, when it comes to this format, you can only ever field a player once. But now the rosters are reset, so now you can refield players. That's why we can see ByuN again, even though we played earlier against Solar. So we have that roster reset, or that roster refresh. And now we have our next potential 4 games. Oh boy. And again, that was crazy out of Bunny. The tenacity, papi. Ah. Yes, here we go. We are getting into our next game here. We're getting into potentially the final game of the series, as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Dream and Scars. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Falcons. It is Bunny. We're putting it all on the line. We're putting it all on the line. We have 2 SCVs being sent across the map. ByuN, he's going Proxy Turax. Proxy Turax in the face of Bunny. It's in his face, baby. It's in his face. Now, welcome to Dream and Scars. Now, depending on the spawn location, you can have a pocket base. Here, there is no pocket expansion. So this is a really bold move here. You can see there's a little alcove here on the right-hand side, away from your main attack path. It's possible that if Bunny goes down the ramp for an SCV scout, he will not see this. He will not see the proxy, as it is barely out of vision. So a very cheeky position here for ByuN. We'll see if Bunny does recognize. Double gas. Oof. Double gas opener. Bunny is going for a faster factory. He's going for a very safe build. So very safe. Bunny, he will have the tools to defend. He will have the tools to defend. Likewise, there's only 1 Reaper cliff into the main here on the left-hand side. I believe there's no Reaper cliff here. There is a cliff face on the right, but that is further out of the way. So limited Reaper cliffs here for ByuN. Yeah, Bunny does get the depot just in case here on the right-hand side. And we'll see what ByuN can get done. As there's that factory on the way. And again, for Bunny, it's all about protecting that factory, keeping it alive, and making sure he gets his Hellions up and running. If he can get his Hellions, he can end the game. We can shut this down, I should say. As the Reapers are building up. Oh, Bunny out of position. He's scouting for proxies. And if he ever extends, then he will take a shot to the face. Oh! Bunny does move out. Reapers move in. Bunny's out of position. He's going for the factory. Yeah, it does go for the factory. The factory is going to be delayed. Massive pickup. Factory's delayed. We'll lose one of the SCVs. We'll lose 2. We'll lose 3. Yeah, 3 SCVs, 4 SCVs go down. There's a lot of damage. A lot of damage already here. Again, Bunny having some miscontrol. Bunny was out of position, and Bunny does take extra damage. And ByuN, has he done it? Oh, no! Oh, my God. Oh, the defense, the boys. The SCVs, they shut down the Reapers, and Bunny does hold, but he did sustain a lot of damage. He also canceled the CC. So he's taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of losses, but the Hellions are now building up, and ByuN has to get the hell out of here. He has to get ready to pull out. CC on the high ground. And ByuN has taken a slight economic lead. Does force a lift off. ByuN getting a CC on location. Oh, you got Bunny. Very nice game sense. Yeah, he assumes that this is a distraction to allow the Reapers in, and ByuN, he's going in. Yeah, he does slip in. Will delay the CC. And we'll get 2 more SCV kills. Oh my God, we'll get 3! 3 more SCVs go down. 4 more. Oh God, this is brutal damage. This is critical damage being dealt here. 8 SCV kills. That should not have happened. Yeah, Bunny, he was out of position. And Bunny, he has to counterattack. He has to find some damage across the map. Cyclone is on the way. The Cyclone will shut down any kind of aggression. And ByuN takes a lead. ByuN takes a very comfortable lead. CC is going to be slightly delayed, but only slightly. Mech fuel is not indicative of mech. This is just a way for ByuN to defend early on, to defend with his cyclones. As he's setting up his Raxes. And from here, ByuN again, he's looking very comfortable. Looking very comfortable. He did do enough. Jumping across the map. There we go. Some awkward pathing when it comes to the Reaper. Yeah, very awkward. Gets a scout, confirms the 1-1. Confirms no tech up on the starport, so he knows that there's no Banshee play. Oh, as ByuN, he will take this fight, shuts down the Cyclone, gets into the mineral line. And again, this is getting out of... Oh, the Raven goes down as well. Ay, ay, ay. And the Cyclones get away. This is brutal. Now, when it comes to TVT, Bunny is miles behind. That is true, but there are ways to recover. At the end of the day, you can be down 10, 20, 30 army supply. You can still win a fight. You can still win a fight, especially if you outposition your opponents. Mid-game TVT is very positional based. Oh god, he gets another Raven. Gee, yeah. I remember there, I thought that was Bunny typing GG. That was brutal. Ah, god. Bunny. We'll split his Ravens. Now, Bunny does have a tank lead. Oh. Does have a tank lead. And I feel like Bunny has to go for a 2-base all-in. I mean, there are two ways to go about this. Either you go for an all-in or you try to turtle up. Okay, he's gonna turtle. Okay, fair enough. So Bunny's gonna try to turtle up, defend, and try to recover here. Meanwhile, ByuN is already getting his 3rd base up and running. It's already complete. Okay, Bunny's pushing, thankfully. He's expanding behind this, but he's still moving out. Bunny still has a bit of a tank advantage, slightly. He's getting a faster fit tank, but oh god, he runs into pre-siege tank. Oh god, no. He does walk into pre-siege tanks. Oh, I don't like this. He checked with his face, didn't quite work out. And Bunny should lose everything here. He should lose everything here. We'll lose all his tanks, lose all the Cyclones, we'll lose all the Vikings. GG. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take a lead, or he will take the game. He'll begin the comeback for Shopify. GG. Whew, GG, well played again. That was a disastrous game for Bunny. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. That was brutal, losing 8 SCVs at the start of the game. That was already game-ending damage, but not just that, he lost all of his Ravens, his CC was delayed, his factory was delayed, everything was just went, it just went so south there for Bunny so quickly. And with that, congratulations. ByuN does take the game, and we have begun the comeback. Let's go. Let us go. The comeback has begun. And we'll see if the comeback can continue, as up next we're getting into our 2v2. Once again, it is going to be Lambo and Harstem with their rematch against Bunny and Rogue. Oh boy. just to set things up. And jump into Gem Garden. Here we go. We have our rematch here in this best of 9, and we'll see if we can continue the comeback here. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Gem Garden, we do have the South Korean duo. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg in Rogue. We have the blue Terran in Bunny. We have Team Falcons. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the Zerg and Protoss duo. We have Lambo alongside Harstem. We have Shopify. And the fanfare is a little bit broken for 2v2s. It's okay. It's okay. But here we go. We do have our rematch. Now, if you recall, last game, we had Harstem and Lambo being very greedy. We saw them, I mean, I say very greedy. We saw that Lambo made 0 units. He made 0 units. He was basically just acting as a bank for Harstem, just giving him all of his money that he could, all of his resources, and Harstem was going for a massive 11 gate all-in. But Rogue and Bunny hit first. They were able to strike first, they were able to break through and actually break Harstem Lambo before their gateways got up and running and end the game. They were able to end the game then and there. And we'll see how our players do adjust this time. Hatch gas pool, standard opener this time out of Lambo. Likewise, gate expand out of Harstem. So much more standard openers. At the same time, we do have Rogue going a hatch gas pool as well. There's no triple hatchery opener. Okay. So everyone's being honest. Nothing crazy this time. That was on the same map too. If you recall, specifically for this tournament, there's only one 2v2 map. It's a little bit unfortunate. It would be nice if they had a little bit more variety. But Gem Garden is the only 2v2 map that is played on this tournament in the Crank Gathers Season 2. So unfortunately, there's not much variety when it comes to the maps, but it's all on Gem Garden. As we have the early Eva Chamber here by Rogue. Rogue rushing to +1 melee into a Ling heavy style. Meanwhile, we do have Harstem going for a Stargate opener himself. Lambo just droning, saturating, building up his economy. With early +1 melee, we're expecting an early Ling flood out of Rogue. We're expecting early aggression. As there's no other reason to get +1 melee this quickly. Likewise, we're still mining minerals. Sorry, we're still mining gas. Okay. Yeah, still mining gas. Stay back in. They attempt to get a scout off. They get eyes on saturation at least. They get eyes on the third base timing. And again, Link Speed and Melee, they're almost complete. I'm still a little bit perplexed by the gas that's being mined. We'll see if Rogue gives resources to Bunny, or if he's going for a lair. As Bunny's being very economic. Third CC before Starport. Okay. So we have a greedy or a more economic build here by Bunny. Rogue is going for the lair. He's still mining gas. And we'll see what he can achieve with +1 melee. Meanwhile, the Oracle has arrived. Harstem is moving out. I believe the queen count is a little bit low. Yeah, there's only 2 queens, so the queen count is very low here. The Oracle does move in. No Spore in position. Drone's going to be going down. Gets 1, he gets 2. It's 2 drone kills. Meanwhile, the Cyclone will shut down the Oracle. Very nice scan. Oh my god, Bunny. Nice scan, nice pickup. I was a little bit concerned by the lack of queens, but hey, the Cyclones, that make up for that. Do make up for that. Meanwhile, Ling run by is on the way. Comes a run by. Lambo thankfully is making a wave of Lings, so he will have some units to defend. Again, that's a lot of Lings. Melee is done. Oh, Rogi pulls out. Pulls out, he turns back. Oh no, he led the Lings to the Reaper. And Rogi pulls away. Rogi pulls away, doesn't really have enough to really take any of these armies. Except for the Zerglings, true. Thanks to his upgrades. Zerglings he can deal with. It gets us over the hatchery as well. Let's pull away there. Has to respect those reinforcements. Rogue pulls away. We can see Lambo making a massive wave of Lingbane behind us as well. Bane the Nest is almost done. And Bunny is getting to mech. So we saw this last time as well. Not in this broadcast, but in day one. In day one, Bunny did play a lot of mech. He actually had a really strong showing against Clem, if you recall, against Team Liquid. Team Falcons did look quite strong in the 2v2. So mech is on the way for Bunny. Rogue is trying to buy some time. Lambo, he does get the queen. Nice pickup. Queen goes down, gets into the mineral line as well. Better trades for Lambo. As Lambo is just rallying more Ling across the map. 20 more Lings in production. Yeah, Rogue is being overwhelmed. Lambo has the better upgrades. He has 1-1. And Rogue only has +1 attack. No carapace. No carapace upgrades. Bunny doesn't really have much of him to defend. Bunny's still working his production. Catching at the Hellions. Nice catch here by Lambo. Shots at the Hellions, the Marines as well. Lambo breaks through. We have Lings everywhere. Yeah, Lings in the third base of Rogue. Lings in the third base of Bunny. He gets into all the tanks, forcing friendly fire. Oh god. Yeah, it does force some friendly fire. Brutal damage. And Lambo is popping up. He's popping up. Shuts down the middle line, shuts down the bases. Aliens do connect. Harstem actually helps a little bit. I mean, Harstem has been mainly focusing on the Cyclone defense. Has been building up himself. Oh wait, has Harstem been feeding? It looks like it. Yeah, I mean, to be able to afford all this, it looks like Harstem has been feeding some resources. Some more Lings rallying in. Yeah, we just saw Harstem give a bunch of minerals here to Lambo. Base is going down. Oh, can he get the CC? Not quite. It doesn't get the CC, but does snipe the third base of Rogue. Rogue is down to 2 expansions. Ay. And Bunny, he finally has his mech army, but too little too late. The damage has been done. It took a little bit too long for that army to get online. Took too long. Nice aces. Stasis goes off and Rogue is crippled. Rogue, he has been crippled. He's been losing base after base. It's turning into a 1v2. It's just Bunny. Zello orbit into the main. Lings, they get on top of the tanks. They force friendly fire and the tanks are on their own. Yeah, they're all on their own. Brutal pickups here. Losing about 6-7 tanks. And Harambo, they've done it. They've redeemed themselves. After that first game where we had a crazy upset and both Rogue and Bunny took him down. Here, GG gets called. Too much damage. Rogue taps out. And Lambo and Harstem, they will extend their lead. They fight back for Shopify. GG. Whew, GG, well played. The comeback continues. ByuN, he led the charge. He was able to get a game off of Bunny. Likewise here, Harstem and Lambo, they also take a game off of Bunny and Rogue, so they do have some momentum on their side here. Again, the comeback has begun, and we'll see if it can continue here. As up next, we do have a 1v1, a best of one between Lambo and Rogue. If you recall earlier, I believe Lambo went up against Solar, but now Rogue does step up to the plate. No, wait, sorry, it was Lambo against Bunny, that's it, of course. And it was Rogue against Scarlett, that's how we started the series. So Rogue was able to cheese and take out Scarlett, as Rogue was hyper aggressive. We'll see if that aggressive nature continues against Lambo as well. And we'll see if Lambo is better prepared than Scarlett was. We'll see as we're loading into Mothership. Alright, loading in. And again, Team Falcons, they still only need one more game to claim the series. Shopify, they are on the road to the ace match. They still need a couple more games though. Un poquito más. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. Leading the series 4-2, it is Rogue. One more game is all he needs for his team. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the German Zerg player. We have the red Zerg for Shopify. It is Lambo. Here we go. As we have that back and forth, both Lambo and Rogue are going hatch first. Slight variation in build, as we did have a Lambo going for the 15. Did go for that extractor trick. Otherwise, we are settling in. And again, welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a massive map, a very large map, long rush distance by ground, a 3-player spawn map as well. You can see that Rogue will be the first to scout Lambo, and Lambo will be able to, they will be able to scout each other, I should say. Once the overlords move in, they will confirm. So far, everything's looking normal. We did have Rogue be hyper-aggressive previously against Scarlett, but that is not happening here. We're just calming down, droning up. From here, we should be working towards our Bailey Nest into a third base. We'll keep an eye on any kind of deviation to see if anyone goes for a Link Flood, if anyone skips that Bailey Nest, or if anyone plays 2 base instead. But we're expecting kind of 3 base play. We're expecting standard aggression or standard mid-game here between Lambo and Rogue. I think speed is in production. Getting into link speed. Third base is being taken here from Lambo. Let's claim his third. So does Rogue. Bailey nests are on the way. And from here, we'll see if we just back off, drone up, and get into Roach play, or if anyone does decide to be more aggressive with Ling Bait. And we're droning, okay? We're droning, we're saturating, we have a much more passive ZVZ here between Rogue and Lambo. Much more passive. I mean, the size of the map, I'm sure, does influence that as well. I'm sure it does influence. There's a Roach Warren, and we should be seeing one from Lambo alongside this. Just getting into Roach play. We'll keep an eye on Evo Chambers, we'll keep an eye on lair timings. speaking of, that's going to be an Evo chamber before Roach Warren. Gas on the way. You have my attention. Another gas is being taken. We should be seeing a lair soon. Okay, there's Roach Warren. I was like, are we going to Muta play? That's still in the back of my mind. Does snipe one of the banelings. Plus 1 range for Lambo. Does prioritize his upgrades. Yeah, still just running up. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Lambo, he looks like he's going for an all-in. Yeah, he's going for a +1 all-in. What are you seeing here? It's what you're not seeing. No lair. Yeah, there's no lair in sight. Lambo, he does not take up. Lambo's going for a massive 3-base all-in off a 3-base saturation, and it's going to hit with +1 melee with a bunch of slow roaches. Meanwhile, Rogue is going for the Spire. Oof, he's going for a Spire. He's going for a +1 melee. Rogue, he did open Roach, but he's cutting corners, and he's going to try to go Ling Muta, and I believe this should be a build order win for Lambo. Like, I believe Lambo, he should just win this game. He should just walk across the map and just roll over his opponent. It's going to be a very difficult defense here for Rogue, just because he's investing into gases, into a Spire, into +1 melee, all these things that just will not help in the defense. Now I realize how much danger he's in. He's throwing down a wall of spine crawlers. Lambo is going for the kill. He's going for the kill. Going for the throat. And Lambo, he's here to end the game. The Lings, they go for a counterattack. Their hope here is to force Lambo back home, but there's no turning around. Like, no shot. Oh, Lambo, he doesn't go for the natural. Uh-oh. Goes for the third base instead. This is giving Rogue a lot of time. The spine crawlers are finishing because of this. Mutas are on the way. Hatchery goes down. And Lambo, we gotta go for it. Gotta go for the kill. Mutas have arrived. And Lambo, he should still have enough anyway. Yeah, he should still have enough. Sure, we have, what, like 5 spine crawlers. Lingbane rolls in. Breaks through the spines, breaks into the mineral line, and Lambo, he should still have enough. And again, as we mentioned, this was a build order win. Lambo was blindly going into just a hatch space, a hatch tech all in, and Rogue was blindly himself going into Mutas. Was rushing into Mutas. Oh, actually, with Ling reinforcements, Rogue is holding on. He cleans this up. He will lose some drones. But as we mentioned, Lambo, he did spend a lot of time on the third base. Okay. Rogue, he survives. He has map control. Can Rogue recover? He shouldn't be able to, but I mean, he's sniping a bunch of overlords. Lambo behind this is throwing down spores. He's trying to take up. Remember, he has no lair. No lair, no hydras, no anti, no shock. Uh-oh. There's limited anti-air here. There's only 3 queens. Overlord's getting sniped. Lambo, he races across the map. Spore goes down. The third base has got no shot. Rogue, he takes down the mineral line, takes down all the drones. At the same time, Lambo is trying to break into the main base. Banelings are on the way. Muse, we need them back home, actually. Uh-oh. Lambo, can he get in? Can he get in? Oh my god. Yeah, there's just so much Ling Bane here. Lambo, he busts into the natural. Massive connections. Takes down the middle line. These Muses are wasting their time. They're wasting their time here at the base. Even catching reinforcements would have been more useful here. I say that. I mean, he's committing to the base trade. He's committing. As Rogue, he will eventually defend back at home. I say that we're still rallying more and more Lings across the map. Mutas, they break into the main. More Lings flooding. I'm still not too fond of how these Mutas were used. Like, this didn't have to be this close. Going for the lair. Small drones deploying in the main. Brutal damage. Things, they just keep flooding in. Let's get the queen. Rogue down to 19 drones. I believe the bid is done. Yeah, the infestation bid is done. He has access to infestors. Mutas, they finally turn around. They finally turn back around. Catching reinforcements. Now, as it settles, where are we? So Rogue, he's on 3 bases. He's on 3 bases. He's down in workers, but he has mass muta. Like, he has an army. An army that Lambo cannot deal with. So yeah, Lambo, he has no answer. Mutas can just go back into the main. And even though this was a shaky kind of response from Rogue, like, it's good enough. Like, hey, he killed the 3rd base, he killed the main base, he crippled the economy. That's a kill, not a cancel. And again, I'm still thinking of a world where Lambo doesn't waste his time at the 3rd base, where if he pushes straight into the natural, he could have just ended the game. But did go for the safer approach, which is true, right? It is safer to get a secure damage. GG gets called. Rogue, he does it. He overwhelms, and Rogue, he will win the series for Team Falcons. GG. GG, well played. Very, very fortunate play there for Rogue. Again, Lambo looked like he was hard countering. He was going for a hatch tech all in to kill Rogue, to punish him for going into mutas. But as we pointed out, Lambo, he did see the attempted wall off. He saw the spine crawlers in production at the natural, and he chose not to go for the natural, to go for the 3rd. And that gave Rogue time to finish up the spine crawlers and to make mutas. Like, it brought a lot of precious seconds that otherwise wouldn't have been there if Lambo had gone straight for the kill, straight for the natural instead. So Lambo, he was a little bit tentative. He did go for the safer response, which was just slowly killing bases, the fringe bases first, before going into the natural, which meant that mutas popped out, and eventually Rogue held. He defended, he survived, and was able to counterattack. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Team Falcons, as they will eliminate Shopify from the tournament. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Team Falcons. They claim the win. Shopify, they do go down. They were able to at least pose a threat. They were able to win some games. ByuN took down Bunny, and Harambo were able to take down Bunny and Rogue as well. So there were some points that were taken, but overall, in the end, Team Falcons, they did come out on top. They did win the series. GG. GG, well played. Again, we almost had the comeback. Oh, and again, I can see a world where Lambo wins that game, to be honest. Like, we could see it. He was so close. He was so close to killing Rogue, to shutting him down for his greed, of punishing him before he got into his mutas, but GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations here to Team Falcons. They do claim the win in the end, and with that, Shopify, they're out of the tournament. Team Falcons, they move on in the lower bracket, and they're going to be facing off against the loser of the next series. Oh boy. Here we go. So close, so close. Might be so close. But with that, GG, well played. Could have, should have. Well, I mean, as we mentioned, like, it came down to just his approach. As we mentioned, like, it is a safer thing to do to kill the third, to focus on the 3rd base instead, because it's secure damage. It's like, the mindset there is like, okay, well, if I don't kill him, at least he doesn't have a 3rd. Whereas the killer instinct is to go for the natural, right? Like, so it's just like a different mindset, a different like kind of like approach to the game. One is safer, one is more risky. But with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. With that, we are now getting into our next matchup here, as we are halfway through the broadcast. This is the upper match, the winner's match. These two so far have been looking dominant in this tournament. We have Basilisk versus Team Liquid coming up next after the break. So we're going to be going on a break here. We're going to be stepping off, take the time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. When we come back, Basilisk versus Team Liquid is right around the corner. Now, Now, again, because this is an upper bracket match, the winner of this series does advance on to the grand finals. The loser of this series plays against Team Falcons. Again, Team Falcons, they took down Shopify. That means they're waiting for the loser of this series, as they still have a chance. For now, though, I'm going to be going on a break. We'll see you soon after the break.